This week we're going to take a look at the price changes associated with soybean futures on the day that the USDA releases its supply-demand report in May. We're going to turn our attention to planting progress and short-term weather trends here in the U.S. Turn our attention then to export trends here in the U.S. Wrap things up with a long-term review of November soybean futures. Hi, this is Brian Basting with Advanced Trading. Let's talk about the soybean market. We've moved in the month of May here, and there's certainly a lot going on in the soybean market. Let's start out this week taking a look at the price changes associated with the May supply-demand report from the USDA. That report this year will come out on Tuesday, May 12th. We look at about the last 10 years here in changes. You can see that most recently we've seen quite a bit of change in July soybean futures associated with the release of this report. Notice, and this is important, it's both to the upside and to the downside. That's why it's critical that you work closely with your trusted risk management advisor to have your marketing positions in place prior to the release of the report on Tuesday, May 12th. Let's shift gears now and look at planting progress here in the U.S. We're looking nationwide at a continuation of a very brisk planting progress, 33% done, 28% last year. Notice the 5-year average is only 23%. We've highlighted a couple different areas that are seeing extremely rapid planting progress, including Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, and also Minnesota. Let's take a look at the recent history of planting progress here. We've highlighted the last 5 years. What we want to do now is highlight that on average, approximately 30% of U.S. beans are planted between May 3rd and May 17th. That means, weather permitting, we'll be approaching 65% of the beans planted by the middle of the month. Speaking of the weather, let's take a look at the short-term trends. Our slides this week, as usual, are courtesy of T-storm weather. We're starting out here looking at a continuation of cool temperatures here over the next 7 days. Coolest readings are going to be in that darker blue area, moderately cooler than normal. As we move further south, it's only going to be slightly cooler than normal. What about rainfall? Into Wednesday, this is May 6th again, we're looking at some heavier rain in the southeast, maybe a ½ inch to 1.5 inches of rain. Lighter amounts in that light green, maybe 0.2 to 0.8. Let's look ahead now to next week, May 12th through the 17th. It looks like it's going to dry out in that northern plains area. As we move further south and east, it's going to be wet though. Continuation of that pattern in the southeast. Let's take a look at precip totals now over the next 2 weeks. The map confirms what we just highlighted there. It's going to be a little bit dry in the western areas, particularly highlighting Nebraska, Kansas. As we move further east, normal and a little bit wet in parts of the eastern Midwest. Let's shift gears now and focus on export trends. Now, exports are still 23% lower than last year. What we want to highlight, though, is that, of course, next week the president is going to be meeting with President Xi of China. Will China buy additional old crop beans? Something to keep an eye on. Let's wrap things up this week looking at trends in November beans. Now, November beans, as we tape here on Tuesday, trade near $11.90 a bushel. Look at that potential for price volatility between now and harvest. That's why it's critical that you work closely with your trusted risk management advisor to manage price movement and avoid price prediction. Now, if you'd like more information, please feel free to contact us at 309-664-2300. We'll put you in contact with our risk management consultants who'll be happy to visit with you at your convenience. And remember, we upload every Wednesday. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and never miss an update. And also remember to check out our video after the USDA report on Tuesday, May 12th for detailed market analysis. This video will post around 2 p.m. Central Time.